Good afternoon. It is Monday. Today is Memorial Day. But I'm not, I mean, when I was younger, I think I used to do, cookouts and people over and things like that. But, I don't know if any of my friends do that anymore, other than just, take the day, relax, and catch up. Um, but it's a good idea. Maybe we should take more time to do that. But I found a deck at one of my local bookshops. It's called The Journey to Enlightenment Tarot. And I do not remember seeing this deck. I know it's been out for a while. So if you have, would like my thoughts on it, then please watch. If you haven't, then welcome and thank you for being here to share this time with me. Become the magician, bring forth what you want. The Journey to Enlightenment Tarot puts you in control of your life, helping you deal with your issues and blocks so you can manifest your future. This extraordinary deck evokes an unparalleled sense of enlightened experience through the strange and wondrous artwork of the cards and wise words of the guidebook. And I do want to say the thing that attracted me to this deck were these cards on the front, and especially that Sun card. And once again, this is an example of a deck where I purchased it based on one card, and that was that one, and the vibrancy of it. So let's take a look. I did a whole unboxing with this and unwrapping and all of that, and I lost the video, or something happened and the camera didn't take it. So I have already opened it. I wanted to get my first impressions, but not much has changed. I think my first impressions are still fairly what they were. I don't think anything's changed yet. This is by Selena Joy Lovett and Daniela Manutius Forster. And the guidebook itself is nice. It's about 144 pages. The descriptions of the major and minor arcana are very Rider-Waite-Smith. The way they're written, the narrative of the way they're written, is a little bit more, it's easy to read. It's not like you're reading it in some books that come with tarot decks are like reading an encyclopedia. It's just the same thing you've read before. It's like look under A for apple. But at least it reads like it's in their writing, it's in their interpretation. But the interpretations are really fairly Rider-Waite-Smith. But just to read the way it's written, I love reading. And so if you do enjoy reading, then you wouldn't mind picking this up every now and then and see what they wrote about it. Even though it won't change the meaning very much, but words have power, and it might change the way you see the interpretation. So I think that's important to mention. But it's a very nice guidebook. The box itself is two-part. A lot of times now they're starting to put designs on the inside. This does not have that, but still an excellent box. Very sturdy. And then we have the cards. Now this insert, it's an insert deck. It does come out, but it fits nice and tight. And then it has a solid piece here, so the cards won't get stuck under. It's very nicely done. So very good job on the box there. The cards, the backs are okay. I'm not mad at them, but they're not my favorites. But I like them. They're pedantic is the word that comes to mind. That sounds diminutive, and I don't mean it to be. It's just, you want a card back, there's a card back. So, but the cards themselves are a matte finish, but they're not horribly thick, so they're easy to flex. And I think we'll do a shuffle at the end, but I just want to look at the cards right now. And I'll zoom this in as when I go to edit it, so you can see very well what I'm looking at. But the colors on these cards are just absolutely amazing. And I said in my first walkthrough that it really sort of it reminds me for some reason of quilting. And maybe it's the patterning. If you've ever seen what's called a crazy quilt, this magician, you can see his eye right here, and at first I wasn't sure what was going on, but these sort of strings of beads or stars are his, like a beard, and his face is hidden behind the moon and the stars there, which is a very interesting take on that. The table has the pattern of the zodiac symbols, and so everything's there. It's just a little bit more thought-provoking, I think, than normal. But I love these cards. I'm not going to say, I don't have a lot to say about them other than I think the colors are beautiful. When I read with this, I will probably read with it for myself at first, maybe start with one card draws and look at the images very closely. You'll notice that some of the majors are just outlines. I find that extremely interesting. How does that interpret into something? Or they're the same color as what's included in the background, so they meld into that. What is surrounding them? They're a part of what's around them instead of separate of and in their surrounding, which I think this strength card is beautiful. I love how she's shrouded in what appears to be, it's looking at it up close, it is not stars, but it has that feeling of stars. I think the implication is that she is wrapped in the stars. The Hermit, I love the blues in his robe, highlighted with the yellows of the lamp. I mean, every card just has so much. If you get close, you can start seeing all the detail. And I'm not going to do every card like this, but I just want you to be able to see. I might do a few just so you can see everything that's in them. And it just enthralls me. I can look at this card. This Hanged Man, one thing I noticed is, if you notice, it's the only one that doesn't have like this super busy background with all the little symbols, but it has these vertical lines in the paint that sort of appear to pull it down. So our focus, and maybe going up, so maybe the focus is connecting the above to the below, sort of like the Magician, but maybe it's a draw down. You know, take that time to reflect. The Death card, I find it interesting. There are two opposing figures. Temperance, the image of the mind, the outline of the brain behind Temperance. I think it's just I think it can be very powerful. I think this is a deck you could pick up just for the sheer joy of looking at the colors and the designs, or it's a deck that you could use in a very reflective, introspective way for more deep readings by pulling the cards, not trying to interpret them right away, but leaving them out and looking at them throughout the day maybe, and allowing what wants to come up over time instead of trying to rush it. Here's my Sun card. Absolutely love that. Absolutely beautiful. Judgment. And this is, I can't remember the name of the bird, but there's a short story about it. And I told myself I was going to look that up, but I didn't. But I believe that bird is in the Star card or the Temperance card. It's in the background of one of the cards. It's not in the horizon, but it's in the far background. I just can't think of the name of the bird now. But the world, you have it in the palm of your hand. What are you going to do with it? Ace of Pentacles. I'm not going to read off every single name. Sometimes I just do that. This, I mean, just the detail in here, just like layers upon layers upon layers. And that's what tends me to, I think this, I haven't looked up how it's done yet because this is supposed to be a cold walkthrough, but I'm going to look up more on the art style And to me, it appears to be just what I'm looking at, and based on what I know, some collage, some digital sketching, some paint, maybe some pencil sketching. But to do that, if you've ever worked with a digital drawing program, which I just do on my tablet from time to time to have fun, then you can do one layer of one thing and then tap a button and it puts like a transparent, you don't even see it, but it creates another layer on top of that, and you can draw on that. And then you put another layer. So you could have like 10, 12 layers in one image, if not more, depending on what you're trying to do to create the image. That's the feeling I get when I look at this. And one thing I want to know is, you've noticed that in several of the cards already that the characters or the figures have had their outlines, but you can see what's behind them through them. And to me, this is saying it's not about the person. It's more about what the card represents. So when I see this, it makes me not focus on a person so much as, maybe that's why I said this would be a good introspective deck, is because this makes me think of, how does this energy, this archetype, show up in my life if it's not a real physical, concrete image? Then what does that say to me? So I think it's a really different deck. It's definitely different than anything I have. But it is absolutely the way these colors are blended, the tones and the temperature of them, with the tiny detail, the people having the outlines. It fascinates me. It really does. I could see these in large form on a Gallery Laval as a show, just like has been done for Frida Lady Barrett. And don't correct me, it's Frida Lady Barrett, because the way her marriage is and the way the lineage goes, she is Lady Barrett, but the Frida would be as if it were inherited instead of a given title, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway. But she called herself Lady Frida Harris. I said Barrett. I don't know why I said that, but Lady Frida Harris. But it's Frida Lady Harris. So, just trivia. I like royal family stuff and titles and all that. It's just fun for me. I don't know why. Don't ask me. And I might have actually even read that when I was I'm sure I read it when I was looking up information on the Thoth deck and it might have been in what's that book on the Thoth deck? Maybe it was by Lon Milo DeCat. There's another one out there too that I was reading. It might have been like in the history or the bio parts of that book. It was really interesting. So just trivia. It definitely doesn't matter, because Lady Frida Harris is definitely a lot easier to say, but that's enough about her. But her work was in a gallery, and I know that Simon from the Hermit's Cave showed it on one of his adventures, and I could see this in a gallery like that. I really could. This one against the black really pops. I love it. But I would be really interested to hear, do you have this deck? What do you think of it? Seriously, what do you think of it? I know for this deck, I look at it, and this is not my typical deck, but I think the colors are so well in tune with each other. This person knew their color wheel, but also the tones, the lighting, the ability to capture all this detail amongst the chaos. And I think that's why I like the deck. It is chaotic, but it's has order in the chaos, and that's another way to add into the reading. You know, maybe you are going through some time period that feels chaotic, and this would, for me, this would be if I'm having one of those times where I've got more messages to return and more meetings than I can keep track of or complete reports for, which happens quite frequently at work, then I feel rather chaotic and disjointed. And maybe this is a way to invite the chaos in, to weed through the chaos to look where the order lays or lies. So that's another way to use it or look at it. But this deck is definitely not for everyone. It's not my typical. If it's too much of anything for you, that's kind of what I want to know. Is like, what do you see that makes you not want to use it? Not buy it, but use it. Like, if you had it, would you, if it was available to you, would you use it or would you not? How would you use it? That's another good one. I've already spoken about how I might use it, but that would be a good one too. How would you use it? What do you see that I don't see? Because there's a lot here to look at, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot to be said for those figures that are just outlines and not filled in, I find. But that is just a quick walkthrough of the Journey to Enlightenment Tarot. The guidebook is useful. I do want to see if there's more written on the cards when I do some online looking around, just to see if there's anything written about more of the detail. But it's a beautiful deck. It's a beautiful matte finish. I think I said that already, but not soft touch. The what some people don't like it. I do like that, but it's not that. It's just a really nice flat matte. And then how they shuffle, they are stiff like this, but I think they'll break in. But I don't have to bend them all the way back. You see, I'm barely bending them, and they do that just fine, because I'm starting to get some arthritis in my hand, so I can't do that. But I don't normally shuffle that way anyway. I do this hand over hand, and they shuffle. They just slide right into each other. And I'll do, some people do, like, it has that really nice, yeah. So they're smooth. They're not slippery, but they are smooth, and they glide. And so just a beautiful deck. Tell me what you think. It's, like I say, it's Monday afternoon. Everybody's kind of on break. So whenever you see this, let me know. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.